Hello, this is a tutorial for Frutiger Aero styled wallpapers. So you can see here, it's got the Aero theme to it and similar image, just with a box and the god rays. So I'm just gonna get started. For this you'll need Photopea. It's a free website. You can see URL there. But the same thing goes with Photoshop. You can use Photoshop and it will work basically the exact same. So you want to make a new project and you want to set the width to 1920 and height to 1080. This is the 16:9 format. You can use something different, just Google your monitor size and it will work. Okay, so now we have a background. We want to click the unlock button here and we're just going to select it all using the select tool here, drag and delete. This gives you a transparent background. Now what you want to do is you want to find a detailed image of, say, like a forest. So I'm just going to Google forest and go to images and you'll see a bunch of forest images. Now images like this aren't good because they are dual tone, so there's one tone of blue and a tone of green. You don't want that. You want a single focus color. So what we're going to do is we're going to scout for a image with a variety of color but the same color. This image works nice. You can see there's a bit of light coming from here. It's mostly green, but it has detail coming here and everywhere. So let's copy the image, go into Photopea or Photoshop and paste it. You'll see it comes up here. It's a bit too big, so you want to click on the mouse. If you can't see handles, click transform controls and then just zoom out holding Alt and your scroll wheel. Now what you can do is you can just scale this down to fit your canvas, or if it's too small you can scale it up. You can now close the forest tab and then you just want to click filter, blur, Gaussian blur. This will bring up a little window. Turn up the radius until it's around about 50. So you can see this is nice. There's now less detail and it's more of a sort of gradient. So you can click OK. And then here in your adjustments panel, which if you can't see you can open up by going window and adjustments, you can click here. This button is the hue and saturation panel. So what this does is it allows you to control the color of the image. So scrolling it down will rotate it backwards and then going forwards rotates it forwards. So what you want to do is just get a color that you like. Make sure it's kind of chill. I like blue, like this color. It's a nice kind of form. But you can do any color you like really. Just don't go too extreme like this. I would say that's nice. Maybe that's not nice. It kind of just looks a bit muggy and dirty. So I'm gonna stick with this blue, which I like. So now you want to hold shift and select both your background and hue and saturation. Then right click and click convert to smart object. What this does is it creates almost a nest inside your project, which means you can open it and still modify your two background layers, but you can add filters to it too from here and it won't permanently change your layer. And we need this because you will sort of see around the corners this sort of thing called color banding, and that is because of the filter that you have added to it. So you can remove this just by going to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just taking it up to about 10. So now you can see the color banding is significantly less, but you haven't lost any detail. What you want to do next is you want to lock this layer so that you can't make changes to it or screw up on this layer. Now click the little sticky notes icon. This creates a new layer. We'll name this God Ray. So what a God Ray is it's basically like a ray of sunlight. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on the rectangle marquee tool and then select ellipse select. And now what we want to do is just zoom out and draw a large oval on your canvas. Now what you want to do is right click, transform selection, and you'll get this little box and you can just rotate it and get it until it's a size and position you like. So maybe that's a bit too dramatic for me. This is nice, I like this. So now you just want to click on the tick here, and you'll see you have an oval selection. Now click on your paintbrush tool, and whilst holding Alt, right click and move to the right. This changes your brush size, which allows you to draw circles. So then hold Alt and right click again, and then move up, and you'll see it softens your brush. So now you're sort of drawing sprays. Now go to color, which if it isn't there, go to window, color, and then change your color to white. And then going around the edge of the circle, just draw a line. This is nice. You can make your brush a bit bigger too, usually 300 or 500 works. There you go, just draw a line like that. And you'll see it has a thick edge to it, and it sharply cuts off. What you want to do is click on this normal button, and you'll find blend styles, and you just want to click on overlay, and you'll see it sort of now makes it so it lightens the layer beneath, which is a nice effect and kind of makes it look glossy. So then go to your move tool and just press Ctrl J on your keyboard, and you'll see it makes a copy of your layer. So then click on this little point in the middle and then move it to kind of where the sharpness is of the God ray, and then you'll see when you rotate it, it now moves on a pivot and moves at the angle starting where the God ray starts. So you can kind of easily create duplicates and flow lines. So I'll rotate it down a bit. Here seems good, but you'll see that there's an edge here, and you don't want this edge. So what I normally do is, whilst holding Control, I drag this point and I just drag it up into this off screen, but this still meets. And you just click the tick again, and you'll see you have another edge, which is nice. You can do this again and just rotate, so move to pivot point and rotate, and then you see the clipping, so you just want to get rid of the clipping like that. There you go. So now you have a sort of entrance God ray. So you can hold shift and put it into a group, and I'm just going to label it right side God rays, so I know what I'm looking at. Okay, now I'm going to create a new layer again, and now we're going to make sort of the light paths. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw an oval selection. So we're going to draw this here, and this is going to be the size of the wisp. So this is the shape I want for my wisp. It's nice, it's long, but it's not too in your face. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the brush tool, and we're going to make the brush smaller than what it was. So about 100, 110 works. So you can see that it's now smaller and focuses more on the center, while still being soft. This gives a more intensive, like, energy feel to it. So what we want to do is draw along the edge again, but when we get to around about this, stop and just continue going off, you see, like that. So you can see, instead of following the circle, it has an edge, and it kind of decays. So we're just going to follow along with it. If it's difficult to follow, turn up your smoothness. So about 30 works. So you see follow, follow, and then just kind of trail. This is nice. So now what you want to do is to complete the other side. Go back to your selection tool, right click, inverse, and now just do the same thing. So follow, follow, straight. And you can see we have a wisp. So now we want to do the same thing, blend mode, overlay, and you can see it has this light streak effect. Now what I like to do, because it's a circle, is to duplicate it. So Ctrl J, make sure to label your layer, and move it to right side. So I'm just going to drag it, holding shift, and it will take it to the right side with snapping. So now you want to go edit, transform, flip horizontally, and what this does is it just puts it so it's the other side and it's mirrored. And now I want to go edit, transform, flip vertically, and now it's mirrored again onto the vertical axis, the y-axis, and this just makes it look upside down. So now I'm going to move it up and just try and make it so it looks like it flows in like a wave. So that looks nice. and I'm just going to select both of these layers holding shift, and I'm just going to move them down, and there you go, it snaps to the center. So now we have this sort of energy pulsating towards the center. It just gives a nice feel to the wallpaper. So we're gonna again hold shift, click the group button, and just rename the folder Wisps. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create another new layer, and we are going to draw a box. This is where our text is going to be. So what we want to do is we want to click on fill, and then we just want to set it to white. Now turn up your corner radius to about 50 pixels. We can then draw our box and place it in the center by pressing Ctrl A and then clicking the center align button and the middle align button. Nice. We can rename this to rectangle, and then we want to turn the fill down to 0. This makes it invisible but still interactable. So what we want to do now is click Effect, Inner Glow, and now we just want to go to the color and set it to white. Then go to the blend mode and set it to overlay, and then turn the opacity up to 100. Now we can turn the size up. I like about 100 pixels, so I'm going to turn it to that, and that looks nice. Now we want to add an outer glow, and we just do the same thing. So white, scale up to about 20 pixels, turn the opacity up to about 100. Make sure the blend mode is on overlay, and now we have a nice little box. You can turn the glow up more if you want. It just makes it look more energetic. Now we want to write our text, so we're going to select the text, and then we are going to get the font Seago UI. So I have it prepared. You can get this online. It's inbuilt with Windows, so it's legal to download it. Yeah. So we just want to drag and drop it into Photopea. Click OK, and then here just type Seago UI, and you'll see it comes up. So now we can just click and type what we want. I'm going to type hello world, and then turn the size up, and now I'm going to put it in italics because I think italics look nice. So what we want to do then is I'm just going to make an adjustment to the text, but it makes my text look nicer. So I'm going to turn the leading down, which makes the text go a bit taller. This looks nice. And then turn down the tracking, which makes the letters closer together. Okay, this is nice. Now we're just going to bring it below the rectangle, and we're just going to bring it in to the center and scale it up until it fits. Cool. Now we're going to want to do the same thing. So we're going to turn the fill down, and we can just right click here, layer style, copy, right click on the text, layer style, paste. There you go. Now, just to make sure it's not blinding, we can go back to effect, double click inner glow, and turn the size down. There we go, that's nice. We can do the same for outer glow, so it's more calm. Even turn the opacity down so it's more subtle. There we go. Now what we want to do is click on the rectangle and click layer mask. What this does is allows us with black and white to remove part of the layer, show part. So black removes layer, white adds layer. So what we want to do is scale our brush up again, turn the feather down, and using black just remove some of the edges of the box. So you just lightly go around the corner. This doesn't have to be much, you can just remove some parts of it. This is nice. Now what you can do is just turn down the box so it's not screaming at you, and then yeah, this is nice again. So shift click the text and the rectangle, add it to a folder and call it text plus box. So I actually forgot this, but if you want to save your file as an image, you have to click File, Export, then PNG, and then just click Save, and it will save to your downloads. So there you go. There's a basic wallpaper with Photopea or Photoshop. I hope this was useful. Yeah, this should have went over all you need to know, beginner. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you found this useful. Right, cheers.